In this video, I'm going to talk about how to use the clone tool, but to clone in perspective. So this is particularly useful if you're cloning something that has a pattern and is shot that in any way that shows perspective, meaning my bricks here in the front are larger than the bricks here in the back. And if you're going to do an Alexander Apostle type of image where you're working on buildings, this can be very useful as well. So the way that this works is you actually go up to Filter from the main menu, and you choose Vanishing Point. And this is going to open up a secondary window. And I have a few tools over here on my left-hand side. The tool that I want to work with is the top one called Create Plane Tool. And that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to create a plane. I'm going to map out an area for Photoshop to be able to learn what the perspective is in this image. So I'm going to start at the corner of one brick, and I'm going to move my mouse along. I just click into that corner. I'm letting go of my mouse in between clicks, and find a corner of a brick on the right hand side, click, and I'm let go of my mouse, and I'm moving down and click in this corner and move my mouse all the way over here and click into this corner here. And what you should get is a plane. If you see red lines or lines of any other color other than blue, that means that you have not created an accurate plane for the program to be able to decipher what kind of perspective is in your image. So once you've created your plane just by clicking into 4 different points here, I'm going to now take the Clone Stamp tool, and just like when I use my regular Clone Stamp tool, I'm going to first set my source by Alt and clicking with my mouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for another part of this image that has a similar pattern in bricks. I have a pinkish one, and then the orange ones here. So I'm coming over to this spot of my image, and I'm holding the Alt key down, and I'm going to click. Let's see, I'm going to click. I need to replace this part of the image is essentially where I would have my leaf. So I'm going to click into the middle here, holding my Alt key down, and you notice that when you drag, and this is true for the regular clone tool in later versions, but wasn't in CS3, but when I drag my mouse, or I've let go of my mouse, I move it, I now get a preview of what it would look like if I take my area where I set my source and if I started to paint that in. So this looks pretty good, and I'm going to now hold down my mouse and just start painting it in. And it paints this in. So I'm getting my source. You can see I have a crosshair here. It's bright green from the area where I set my source. So I'm getting in those new images, but it's taking that imagery and it is putting it in the correct perspective, which is pretty cool. And you get a pretty seamless image in the end. So if you're happy with it, you click OK, and you've now made that change.